and we should have a perfect episode here. The NBA playoffs get rolling on, the longest playoffs in the history of playoffs, 2 whole months from the, I don't know when, Saturday today, or Saturday this week, all the way up until June 15th. June 20th, whenever they end. I think the finals start late this year, June 6th to June 23rd. So, for these postseasons, we have our list for pressure tiers. So it's every team still remaining in the 2024 NBA postseason, counting the play-in teams. We have Sixers and Heat tonight. Also, we have the Hawks and the Bulls. And then the winner will play whoever, blah, blah, blah. And then Pelicans play the Kings for the last
Heat
playoffs.
intentionally lose to go play the Celtics, and Jimmy Butler gets
Why
his
would they
revenge.
want to ever play? Shut up. Enough with that.
Joke.
Enough with that blasphemy.
The joke was the revenge play.
Oh, we're falling. Oh my goodness, sir! They just hit the South Tower. Oh my! Oh, we hit the South Tower again, sir. There was a second phone. Can this stay on? Okay, now we're good. All right, now we're not going to have any problems for the rest of the time. I'm sure. Famous last words. A minute and a half of disaster. Now, not touching the phone, not touching anything. We're ready. Okay. Pressure tier list, which I don't really like doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. We do it too much. Like this guy's under the most pressure. He's under the most pressure. It's stupid, but I'm still going to do it because it's my show. I can do whatever the hell I want. So let's get into this playoff pressure list. We have 4 tiers here. We're going to have the no one cares tier, the little pressure tier, which, you got to probably win a series to silence the critics, the definition of pressure tier, and then finally the no excuses tier, that these are teams that have finagled with us, played around with us for too damn long. You can't get away with it anymore.
It was like the Packers beat the Cowboys and then lose to the 49ers in the playoffs like 3-4 years in a row.
Okay. Anyway.
Or no, the Niners. Yeah,
you just blurt out random things. This guy's got Tourette's.
Yeah.
The no one cares tier.
No, but like Aaron Rodgers made it to like the playoffs like 10 years in a row and then like never made it to like the championship.
I'm going to kill this freaking thing. You know that right now? This thing's pissing me the hell off, and I'm going to kill it. Anyway.
Chat is that Riz.
Anyway, let's get into this no pressure, no one cares tier. First off, the Chicago Bulls. It's the same story, different year for the Chicago Bulls. 10 seed, nobody's, Levine's hurt. DeRozan does whatever. I'm tired of getting excited about the Bulls. They've been the same team for 4 years. They need to sell in the offseason. Levine needs to leave. DeRozan needs to leave. Vucevic needs to leave. They need to build around Kobe White, which is like, yikes. That is an awful statement to say, to build around Kobe White. Fine player. But yeah. Chicago has no pressure. They're probably losing the play-in tonight, so that information probably going to be irrelevant soon. But as we record today at 4:30 whatever on
32.
Wednesday, 4:32 on Wednesday, the Bulls have no pressure.
43 point coordinates.
I would say this. I would actually be shocked if they even made the playoffs. The Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I also have the Bulls in.
And even if they do make the playoffs, they play the they play the Boston Celtics. So
playoffs.
No one cares tier, Chicago, correct?
Yeah,
we both agree on that.
Yeah.
Also, in that tier is the Atlanta Hawks. When they made the move for DeJounte Murray, they were expected to contend for a championship, which is wild to say. If you remember that year, they made the conference finals, lost to the eventual champion Milwaukee Bucks, but they still made the conference finals. They brought in DeJounte Murray. It has been a complete failure. They have not competed really in a close playoff series. They lost to the Boston Celtics a year ago. There's no pressure for them again. There is pressure in the offseason to make moves. I could see Trae Young leaving. I could see DeJounte Murray leaving, and the Atlanta Hawks kind of going rebuild mode. They do still have Clint Capella. It's the Bulls and the Hawks. This is the mid-off of the century. These two teams, the winner is going to lose to the next team. These two teams, they're the New Orleans Saints of the NBA. No pressure. No one cares.
Any team in the NFC South.
No one cares about the Atlanta Hawks. Would you agree?
Yes, I also have them in no pressure.
Okay. Let's move on to a team that, again, not much pressure. no one cares about them, but still not much pressure. The Sacramento Kings, first off, they got to beat the New Orleans Pelicans to even make the postseason. But if they do, they'll run into the one-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. Kings, another team that is ahead of their trajectory. That last year they made all the noise, unfortunately lost in the first round to Golden State. But they made all this noise. They are a team that for 20 years has not sniffed the postseason, and then they made it back, and they have a chance to make it 2 years in a row. I love everything the Kings have, everything they represent. The beam is amazing. Fox and Sabonis, this is such a great team that you put them in the East. I think they're a 5 seed, probably 4 or 5 seed. It's just tough in some of the strongest the West's been in a long time. So there's no pressure for the Kings at all.
Yeah, I also agree with that. I have them in no pressure as well.
Okay, we're 3 for 3 so far. Also, no pressure is a team not many people expected to make it. The Indiana Pacers. The trade for Tyrese Halliburton will go down in one of the best trades, maybe in NBA history, the way he's playing. Although, has kind of been fraudulent post All-Star break. But still, Indiana, I wouldn't say they're a young team, but they're a team with no expectations. They're running into Milwaukee, which they could get them. I think Indiana has a good chance to potentially upset Milwaukee if they get the chance to. Well, they have the chance to, so I don't know what I'm saying. But Indiana, for me, Halliburton makes the whole operation go. It's depending on how good he has been. If this is first half of the season, Indiana, I think they could beat Milwaukee. But second half, they have been a little shaky. The whole offense runs through Tyrese Halliburton. There's no pressure for Indiana. If they win, great. If they lose, no one cares.
Yes, I also have the Pacers in no pressure either.
And my final one in no pressure or no one cares is the Orlando Magic, which
Orlando Magic.
I'll give myself a pat on the back. Every time
Magic.
we mention the Orlando Magic,
Magic.
can you shut the hell up?
Orlando Magic.
My co-host has Tourette's. I would like to just say about Orlando. I always say it every time you bring up the Magic because it might be my greatest take of all time. Orlando. Nobody had him as anything last year. This nobody really had him as anything. I know. The flowers are coming. I understand. I had Orlando as a 4 seed this year. And they were a 5 seed, so maybe I'm an idiot. But everybody had them as a 13 seed. I was even on the podcast in the summer saying that the Magic would be a playoff team. They made it. I'll cheer for them against Boston or against Cleveland. But at the end of the day, they're young. I think the second youngest team in the league besides from OKC. Paulo, Franz Wagner, and all those boys. Really good future. But right now, nobody cares. Right? They're just a young team playing with house money. Who is are you done with no one cares, or do you have more teams?
So we did Pacers, Bulls, Hawks, Kings, and I also have the Magic in no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I have the Pelicans in no pressure as well.
Okay. Any reason why?
That's like what are they this year? They're bottom seed, 6 seed, 7 seed.
Speak up, son.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Hold on.
Yeah, the Pelicans are the 7 seeds. So you don't need to look it up.
So exactly. They're low seed, Brandon Ingram, Zion. Zion's hurt again?
No,
sure
maybe
his
last
left
night.
hamstring or something. I don't know. Well, he was injured last night. I feel like this is not really a team who will make it far into the playoffs. I feel like eliminated first round, second round. Most likely first round. But
they're not even going to win on Friday. Anyway, I have the Pelicans as little pressure, and I can even move them up to definition of pressure. This is not their first rodeo. I mean, after Zion and his rookie year, there was expectations that next year they got to go win. And it's been 3 years now. Zion Williamson has missed more games than he's played. Okay, he's hurt again. How long are we going to play this game with New Orleans when you have, no doubt, one of the premier talents, young talents in the NBA, one of the top 5, 10, 15 best young players in the world, and when other teams with young talent are the 1 seed with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with Boston and Jason Tatum, who have been the front runners in the East for a long time.
I believe he's only 19.
What we've seen with Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks for a long time. New Orleans, what's your excuse? I understand Zion's been hurt, but at the end of the day, you got to win some basketball games, and that's something they have not been able to do. They're the 7 seed playing in the play-in on Friday night, which they could get eliminated. The clock is ticking, and when you are blessed with a young talent like Zion Williamson,
Who's hurt?
you cannot just dismantle or not appreciate the other value of team and rely on Zion. You need to put him in the best spot, which they haven't done. He's been hurt, and when you have a guy that's injury prone like this, you take your chances as they come, and they don't come often right now with the New Orleans Pelicans, especially in the Western Conference. Thunder will be there for a while. Timberwolves will be there for a while. Nuggets and Mavs. Those are 4 right away that I haven't even had to think about that they'll be there in the future. San Antonio with Wembanyama. The Houston Rockets with their building in that squad. Not even to mention the current teams like Phoenix, who will be there for the next couple of years, like the Kings, like the Lakers, as long as they have LeBron James. There's nowhere to go for the Pelicans, and it's been a while since they've had any term of success. It's little pressure because I understand they're the 7th seed in a play-in game, but next season they are on maximum pressure because you cannot waste away Zion Williamson, and Zion Williamson cannot waste away himself with the injuries. I have the Pelicans kicking off my little pressure tier.
Like your take there, young fella.
Thank you, son.
Do you want me to just continue?
Yeah, what's your little pressure tier? Do you just want me to keep talking the whole time? Or are you gonna
shut the fuck up?
Come on, we can't. Actually, we can't. Okay, not joking anymore.
Another team I have in little pressure is the Oklahoma City Thunder.
It's a good pick.
Very young team, 1 seed this year. Expect a decent amount out of them, but again, young team, haven't been there this much. Don't have as much experience as some of the other teams.
Yeah, they're 1 seed. They're playing with house money right now. Nobody expected them. I had them as like a 9 seed entering the season. They're the number 1 seed. But if you're a number 1 seed, you have to have some pressure on you. And it feels like this year we do this every time in the NBA. We always shy away from unproven young teams in favor of veteran-led worser teams. We're going to be seeing that if Sacramento goes against OKC, you're going to see a lot of people pick Sacramento. Even in the second round, the popular pick's going to be the Dallas Mavericks over the Thunder or the Clippers, right? People could pick the Lakers over the Nuggets, right? We've seen the Suns and the Timberwolves. There's probably the best example right now. We'll get to our playoff predictions. It was really close, but the initial reaction is, okay, Suns have Booker, Suns have Durant, Suns have Beal. They have proven players. And usually it doesn't work like that. We always undervalue these young teams and go to the proven teams. But OKC, I think they are one of the weaker number 1 seeds we've had in a good bit. But that's not saying they don't play good enough together and they don't play together. Still a number 1 seed. I think the baseline for a number 1 seed to have a successful playoff run is the conference finals. That's where you have to start the negotiations, and a good run is the finals, and then of course the best is the NBA finals. I have 2 more teams in this tier. How many do you have?
I have 3 more.
3 more in this tier. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Timberwolves under little pressure, and I could move them up to high pressure, but the thing is, the difference between some of the teams up here in the definition of pressure category is they have been here for a while, Minnesota, but the star, Anthony Edwards, is still 22, 23 years old. That you have time, right? They've gone through different generations in Minnesota. They had promising with Karl-Anthony Towns, with Andrew Wiggins and those guys, and now they've switched to Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl-Anthony Towns. But what makes me confident about Minnesota is not only were they not expected to be good, and they were, but Anthony Edwards is here to stay for a long time. So Minnesota, little pressure against Phoenix. I think they should be able to win the series. We'll get to it in our predictions, but there's a little bit of pressure. I think there's more pressure than OKC just because OKC is the youngest team in the NBA. While Anthony Edwards is young, Karl-Anthony Towns is not anymore. He's going into his 10th season next year, which is pretty surprising.
For me, the Timberwolves are in definition of pressure. Reasoning being, Cat's been, like you just said, 10 years he's been playing. Hasn't done much with his team towards playoffs. Feel like what am I trying to say here? Needs to almost do better as a player is kind of what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy Gobert also, I mean, he's more of a defensive player and all that. What really helps him out this year, Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like they should be able to make a decent push in the playoffs, but it also has been relying around Anthony Edwards for most of it.
So who do you have in little pressure?
Little pressure, I have the Lakers.
Lakers
also.
and little pressure. Okay. Why?
And the Knicks.
Lakers and Knicks, little pressure. Why?
Lakers being LeBron is the whole team almost.
Anthony Davis and D'Angelo Russell. That's a blasphemous take to say LeBron James is the only player on the team.
Most
Anthony
of the team.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
And that's still false. The surrounding cast of Anthony Davis, who's now healthy,
For once.
He's played 76 games. He'll make an All-NBA team. D'Angelo Russell is one of the best third guys in the league. Austin Reeves is a good player too. LeBron is not like, man, LeBron's winning the series for the Lakers.
No, but when it comes down to certain times, it all almost falls on LeBron's shoulders.
Almost all? I don't know about that. Okay. Your last team, you have one more in little pressure potentially?
The Knicks.
The Knicks? Okay. Why the Knicks?
I feel like they don't have much pressure.
That's why you put them there.
Yeah, no, they haven't been here this often. It's Jalen Brunson. R.J. Barrett got traded. No, he didn't.
OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson,
Yeah.
Julius Randle if he's back,
Yeah,
Dante
Julius
DiVincenzo, Josh.
Yeah,
Hart.
R.J. Barrett got traded. I was right on that.
My final team in little pressure, and then I'll scold him in a bit, is Miami, just because they have been always this under-the-radar team that no one really has had expectations for. At the end of the day, it's still a winning culture in Miami, and they expect to win. But at the end of the day, this team is not fit enough to make a run. We've seen it in the past, right? But I tell you, winning or being the 7-8 seed all the time and then making a run, it's not sustainable in the long run. And we'll go up to definition of pressure. And Wayne, I know you're not huge in the NBA, but I still want to point this out for the Lakers and the Knicks. Being and saying they haven't been there for a long time doesn't work, okay? This is the New York Knicks. This is the Mecca of basketball, Madison Square Garden. They do not take we haven't been there in a long time. They expect to win the championship every single season, and a young, promising team that we don't have to put pressure on doesn't work. The same thing has to say with the Los Angeles Lakers, who I understand are going into the playoffs as the 7th seed against the Denver Nuggets. They are tied with Boston with 17. That matters a lot to who can get 18. So the Lakers look at it right now is Boston's the favorite to win the title. LA's got to find some way to get to 18 before Boston. Okay, those two are the pinnacle of the NBA, Lakers and Celtics. When you talk about the Knicks and when you talk about the Lakers, there's a different pedestal you have to raise them to. Okay, this is not the Orlando Magic or the Pelicans or whatnot. This is rich basketball history. Lakers, Knicks, Celtics, Warriors, these teams that have been good in the past and are good now, saying, okay, we have a nice future, doesn't cut it. The people of New York, the people of Los Angeles are accustomed to winning, maybe not New York with the Knicks, but they expect winning, especially in the Lakers, with 17 championships. There's not time to sit around and say we have a good future. First off, they don't. And there is always pressure for the New York Knicks, whether it's a random Sunday at 2 o'clock or whether it's the first round of the postseason. There's going to be more pressure when you put on a Knick jersey, when you put on a Laker jersey. So I understand where you're coming from, but I want to say you're wrong on that. So definition of pressure is the Knicks and a bunch of Lakers in there. The Knicks are in a spot that, again, it's been a long time coming for the New York Knicks. They broke the streak a couple years ago, not making the playoffs. This team has had no relevance of success since the 1990s. And to be the New York Knicks, the most valuable franchise in the National Basketball Association, and to have no legit success since 1995, since when O.J. Simpson got taken away on the same night of the finals, that's the last time they've had any success to latch onto. They haven't won a title since 1973. You are in Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world, playing for the New York Knicks. You're damn right there's pressure. So the Knicks have a definition of pressure. They could go up to no excuses. I'm not going to put them there. Also, in definition of pressure is the Los Angeles Lakers. Same kind of reasons. It's LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I don't care who your surrounding is. When you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, two of the top 12 to 13 players in the world, when you play for the Los Angeles Lakers, you are expected to win championships. That's what Wilt did. That's what Baylor did. That's what Abdul-Jabbar did. That's what Johnson did. That's what Bryant did. That's what O'Neal did. Okay? And they have been able to win in 2020. Lakers fans are quick. Okay? They're not happy with the championship in 2020. Okay? They got to win it in 2020, and then they got to win it in 2021 to be satisfied. So those two I have as definition of pressure. Are you going to list yours off, or are you just going to be quiet?
No, I was trying to consume your basketball knowledge there.
A lot to consume, a lot to swallow.
Okay. For me, average pressure, or definitely, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have the 76ers.
Okay.
Reason being, Embiid's, guess I would say, chokes in the playoffs, consumes
I would say so.
pressure.
I have Philly.
It helps that he has Tyrese Maxey as well. He's got some good players, but at the same time, he hasn't done much with being there before.
Yeah, no conference finals appearances in a long time. Philly, any other circumstance, they are in the no excuses category. I'm putting them in definition of pressure just because of the injury to Embiid that they're the 7 seed now. But don't get me wrong, they get a small pass. A small pass. If this is any other year, they are number one on my board in terms of winning. They have been 2018, 2019, 21, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, they're going on 7 years now. 7 years where they have been engulfed in this process mentality where Embiid and Butler and James Harden, they've gone through so many different eras. They've gone through 3 head coaches. They've gone through the Jimmy Butler era, the Maxey era, the Harden era, the Ben Simmons era. One guy stayed constant. That's the guy from Kansas in Joel Embiid. He's under a lot of pressure. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I have the Sixers in there pretty comfortably. Next teams?
The Cavs.
I have the Cavs as well. Cavs, yeah. They've quickly gone from nice young team to you can't be a nice young team till the rest of the time.
And traded for Donovan Mitchell.
They got Donovan Mitchell. They have put themselves in a spot where, hey, they understood. They made the playoffs with Mobley and with Garland and with everybody. They said, let's get Donovan Mitchell. Let's compete for championships. And they're the 4-5 seed now. They'll have a run-in with Boston if they can win that series. There's definitely some pressure there. But at the end of the day, Cleveland, nobody's expecting a deep run out of them. But they're still held to some accountability.
I also have the Nuggets in this section.
Definition of pressure for the Denver Nuggets. I also do. Again,
just won a championship last year.
They just won the title last year. So you could look at it this 2 ways. Okay, they just won. They don't need to win again. They just won.
Be aggressive.
They're the defending champs. Every time the defending champ's going to have pressure just because they are the defending champ until somebody takes it away. There's pressure to get the winning out now because they have a young core that will not stay young forever, and they have a happy core. It's tough in the NBA where players are moving left, right, and center to have 3 guys at the core of it: Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter, who were drafted there, played along.
We don't pass the ball. Porter
played alongside each other, and are happy with their role. Who knows how long that's going to happen? You could say, "Oh, we got it for 5-10 years," but you don't know. So let's get your winning out now. That's a good pick for Denver. And my final team's the Dallas Mavericks, and I could put them up there to no excuses. Okay, I'm a Dallas Mavs fan. I could put them up to no excuses. The thing is, Luka Doncic cannot get away with losing in the postseason again. I understand he might be the greatest playoff performer ever. I don't say that lightly. Second all-time in playoff points per game at 32 points per game, just behind Michael Jordan. He'll probably pass him in the next couple of years. The thing is it fair to Luka Doncic when he puts up 40 and the Mavs lose? No. But the stars, you have to be unfair to them. That's the thing. You have to be unfair to guys that you talk about Luka Doncic. He has all the skill sets in the world. He's the most skilled player in the NBA by far. I think he should be the MVP. It'll be Jokic. But he doesn't have that finals appearance or title. This year with Kyrie Irving, he has it, okay? So when you pair, in my opinion, the best player in the league with a 25-point per game scorer, that should mean championship. Luka against the Clippers. I think Dallas is still getting kind of a pass for being young with Luka, but at the end of the day, you got to win sometime. Again, you can't be young forever. People age. I have Dallas as my last team.
I have one more team in this section. I have the Clippers. For my reasoning being, it's Paul George and James Harden who really bring the pressure up, but Kawhi keeps them down from the top part. With Kawhi being a great player and everything, he is injury prone, but they've been healthy this year, stayed together. Harden and all this. I just feel like they, in the next 2 years, will probably be a very top team to have the most pressure to try and get a ring.
I mean, yeah, they've been.
But this year, I feel like it kind of just stays down a little bit.
I'll tell you why you're wrong in a second. It's good takes, but I'll tell you why you're wrong. I have the Clippers and no excuses. And this is not the players' type of pressure. We'll get into that later. This is the teams. Who has the most pressure as a team? Okay? And if you look at the Los Angeles Clippers, since the inception of their team, they have been the little brother to the Los Angeles Lakers, and it has not been close. Okay? And the Clippers can win 17 straight championships, and they would still not be a Clipper town. It's a Laker town. It always will be. But the Clippers, ever since they acquired Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in the summer of 2019, or 18, I forget, 2019, 18, 19.
19. Because
Baby.
Kawhi won with Toronto in the World.
Yeah, 2019. They went from, okay, we're the Clippers. You know, we're the Clippers. We're the little Clippers. We're not expected to contend with the Lakers. To now, we have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. We need to win championships. And they're collapsing the bubble, losing 3-1. They're collapsing multiple series. There is only one team, I think, in the NBA right now has more pressure than the Los Angeles Clippers. They're getting an arena soon. They're investing money in this place. And the Clippers are tired, or at least I hope they're tired, of being the little brother in LA. The best way to do it, go get a championship and bring a championships to LA. So the Clippers, all the pressure in the world, they are in my no excuses tier. This team has to at least make the finals. Because believe it or not, they have made the Western Conference Finals once in 2022, where they lost to the Phoenix Suns. No, 2021, where they lost to the Suns. So when you share a town with the Los Angeles Lakers, it's like the New York Mets with the New York Yankees. When you share a town with the pinnacle of a sport, you are expected to win, which the Clippers have not been able to do. It helps having Paul George and James Harden and in building up their pressure, but the Clippers, absolutely no excuses.
For me, another team.
How many teams do you have on this?
I have 3 more.
Okay. 3 more? Okay, me too. Me too. We both have 4.
3 exacts. No, I have these 3. They were down here.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's just these.
You didn't start yet. Okay.
Yeah. So for me, a team under pressure is the Milwaukee Bucks.
It's a good pick.
Won their championship. It was 4. No, it was not the bubble. It was
2021.
The year after.
2021.
Yeah. So 2021.
2 champions ago.
You bring in Dame this year, so now you have Giannis and Dame.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of almost expected that you make it to the finals. Maybe to the at least to the conference finals. At least to the conference finals.
Yeah, when they brought Damian Lillard in, the thoughts of Dame and Giannis were like, okay, the Bucks.
Don't get me salivating.
The Bucks got to be the favorites right now, which of course they are not. Big thing with Milwaukee is Doc Rivers, who's their head coach, of course. Generational choker. I mean, absolutely generational.
Actual dog crap.
Absolutely generational choker. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He's one of the best coaches ever, but he still chokes. He choked with who else? He choked with the Clippers. He choked with Philly, and he has a chance to choke with Milwaukee.
He's only there because of his son.
The thing is, you're hilarious, man.
Yeah, shut the hell up.
The thing is, the Bucks have not been good ever since they fired Adrian Griffin, which is a stupid move. We're not getting into that right now. But anytime you have Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard with Chris Middleton, who's like, get ready to learn Chinese, but they're expected to win, okay? Are they the favorite? No. Should they make the NBA Finals in terms of the team structure? Yes. Of course, not counting Boston and whatnot. Just looking at this team, you have Giannis, who's a 2-time MVP, paired with Damian Lillard, who's a top 5 guard in the league. They got to make a run, and you cannot be living off of past success, especially when it's 3 seasons ago. So I have 2 teams left. I think we both have the same. I'll save the team that I think has the second most in kind of in pressure here, the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix.
You saved the team who has this.
I think because Boston has the most.
Oh, okay.
But Phoenix.
Whoa, does that mean the Clippers? No, okay.
Phoenix Suns. The thing is, Another pat in the back. I'm sorry. But just when you're right all the time, you can pat
Shoot
yourself on the back.
yourself.
I said in the podcast, I think it was the same one I said the Magic would be the 4 or 5 seed. I said Phoenix would struggle just because they have too many scorers. And you need guys that can fit your role. You need guys that can know the tendencies of other players. It rarely works when you just bring in free agents and trade for players and you go star heavy at the top and don't have the players to back it up. That's what we've seen from Phoenix. But that being said, anytime you have Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker, you at least got to make the second round, right? Just throw everything else out the window. Those 3 players are good enough to make the second round. Okay? And last year, Luka Doncic walked into your arena and walked you for 27 points in the first half and destroyed you in a game number 7. Actually, no, that was 2 years ago. My bad. I'm getting old. Dementia. So, especially Devin Booker is a mini Jason Tatum in the fact that he's been asked to win, less expected than Tatum, but we're creeping up to that now and again and again. The window is closing. KD, who knows what he'll do in a couple of years. Bradley Beal is whatever.
KD's going to retire in a couple of years.
So the Suns have no excuses. I think you would agree with
KD
that.
still hasn't used lotion yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with your take there with the Suns.
All right, and finally the Boston Celtics.
From Boston.
The Boston Celtics have been, I think since LeBron left, have been the contender in the Eastern Conference. Of course, we've seen Milwaukee go up and down, but on a year-to-year basis, 2018 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 7, they lose. 2019, lost in the second round. 2020, lost in the conference finals to Miami. 2021, lost somewhere. Lost to Milwaukee in a series. Made the finals, lost to Golden State, and then last year lost to Miami. So they, I think, have the most playoff experience in the NBA in terms of games played. Maybe them or Golden State. Maybe them or Golden State. But when you look at this team, relatively young, but there's 5 reasons the Celtics should win the title. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis. 5 reasons. Okay? That is the best starting 5 in the league. There is no holes in that starting 5. Those are 5 players that are top 10 in their position, every one of those players. Can't say that about anybody else. This is in terms of how well-rounded they are, one of the best teams of all time. 64 wins with the track record of making the finals. This is the best they've ever been, and if it's anything short of an NBA Finals appearance, it is a complete disaster in Boston. Jaylen Brown's making one of the largest contracts ever. Jason Tatum's making one of the largest contracts ever. They have Drew Holiday as a lockdown defender. Derek White is phenomenal, and Porzingis can shoot the ball from 150 feet. So there is absolutely no reason Boston cannot at least make the finals. If they lose to Denver, whoever, that's fine. But this team has to, in my opinion, win the NBA Finals.
Yes.
You agree?
Yes.
Alrighty. Let's get into our NBA playoff predictions, our full playoff predictions here. We'll make this a little bit quicker. We're going to spend about 10 minutes on this, which usually when I say that, we go on for 50 minutes.
Is there just like a bracket that I can fill out?
There is a bracket.
Yeah, I know. But like, so like an interactive one.
Yeah. So we'll get into this right now. We'll start with the play-in. Miami, Philly in the play-in. I do think Philly moves on to take the 7th seed. I think that this game in the play-in, okay, is essentially winner goes through, loser goes home. Just because if you win the next game against Chicago or Atlanta, you got to run into Boston, which is a death sentence for any 8 seed right now. Mm-hmm. So I think Philly gets in as the 7, and they have a matchup with the New York Knicks. And then I think between Miami and Chicago or Atlanta, I'll take Miami. So Miami would play Boston, which I think is what probably everybody has. And out west, I would say I'll pick the Kings to beat the Pelicans. Any disagreements there?
Go through them again. Sorry, I'm trying to find an interactive.
Sixers beat the Heat. Heat beat whoever. So
Yes.
Sixers and Heat.
Yes.
And then Kings beat the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. Let's go to the
I
NBA
can't get an interactive
NBA
one.
postseason. You can just keep track in your head. Or write it down.
That's not gonna work.
All right, so let's move on to
I'll just try and
let's
do it in
go
my
let's
head.
go to the Eastern Conference first round. You just say who you pick and in how many games. Boston, Miami. I got Celtics in 5. Celtics in 5. I just think
Write down mine here.
Jimmy Butler has himself a game that he just goes nuts and Miami wins. Maybe it's game 1. I think Boston is just too good to allow anything more than that. It goes to 5 games. Boston, I think this has to be a sweep to really feel confident about them. I think it goes to 5.
So the winner, the 9 and 10, and the loser, the 7.
So what do you have? Boston, Miami, how many games?
Boston in 6.
6? Whoa. Whoa.
No. 'Cause it takes 4 to. Yeah, it takes 4 to win, so it'd be 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in 5.
4-1.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to the Cavs.
No, it's 2 to 3.
Moving on to the Cavs and the Orlando Magic. I think this series does go the distance, goes to 7 ball games. I think the experience at the end of the day of Cleveland proves decisive. I do think the Cavs move on. Any disagreements? What do you got?
No, Cavs in 7.
It's Cavs in 7. Okay, same thing all around. Bucks Pacers, another series I think does go the distance. Giannis is superhuman. I understand that. We saw in the 2022,
He's like Derrick Henry. Big, strong man.
We saw him in the 2021 finals. Hyperextends his knee in the conference finals, comes back, plays game 1, drops 50 points in game 6. But this injury he has, it's scary that the Bucks are a 2-trick pony with Giannis and with Dame, and one of the ponies has a
broken leg,
hurt leg. So you don't want to become a 1-trick pony because a 1-trick pony is a no-trick pony, and a no-trick pony is out of the fucking post. Nope. Can't curse on here, but I am.
That's not family friendly.
I do have the Bucks moving on in 7, but if you tell me, Indiana wins, I'm not batting an eye.
I also have the Bucks in 7.
Bucks in 7. And finally, it's tough to make upsets. It's tough to make upsets in this postseason. And too many times I picked the 1, 2, 3, 4 seed in both conferences. But in a 7-game setting, it's tough to upset teams, right? In the NFL or college football, 1 game you can have a good game. To do it 7 times, or 4 times.
At least 4.
To do it 4 times, to win 4 games is really tough. So I think the Knicks are going to go through and beat the Sixers. I think it's in 5 or 6. I would go 5. I think it's a sweep. Not a sweep, but like it's a
Joel
freaking
came off of a leg or a wrist injury.
He's back. He's ready to go. He'll play. But I think just the Knicks can hit him from everywhere. They can hit him with Brunson. They can hit it with Josh Hart. They can hit it with DiVincenzo. They can hit it with Anunoby. The Knicks are 20-3 since getting OG Anunoby. They're scary. I have the Knicks moving on.
I also have the Knicks moving on, but I have the 76ers putting up a fight. Knicks in 7.
Knicks in 7. Okay, I think it'd be close. So we'll do the whole Eastern Conference, then get to the West. So Celtics, Cavs. I think Boston in 5. I don't think, again, not much struggle. I think looking at this schedule for Boston, I don't think they should go to 7 against anybody in the East, really. Bucks, Knicks. I've always been a Bucks guy, right? I've always really liked the Bucks, liked Holland, or liked those guys in Lillard and whatnot. And playoff Dame is a real thing. But I like the Knicks on defense. I think Knicks in 6. I think the Knicks move on to play the Boston Celtics.
Okay. So for me, it's Celtics and the Cavs. Celtics in 6.
Uh-huh.
And so it'd be Bucks and Knicks. I have the Bucks in 7.
Bucks in 7. So you have Celtics, Bucks, and I have Celtics, Knicks. I'm going to have Celtics in 5.
Oh, yeah.
I'm such a big fan of this Boston team, like everybody is. But again, I don't think they should struggle at all. Boston to the NBA Finals.
Celtics in 5 against the Bucks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move on to the Western Conference. It's the number 1 seeded Thunder versus the 8-seeded New Orleans Pelicans. 8-seeded Sacramento Kings. My bad. This is at least what I have. I think the Kings. I think the Kings put up a fight. I do think.
Is it because
I think the Kings. I think the Kings put up a fight in this series. I really do. I think it goes 6. I would not be surprised after 4 games. It's 2-2 and we go into game 5. But I think OKC is just a better team. Shocking to say this about the Kings, but they're more experienced than OKC.
5 years ago, nobody would have ever been able to hear that.
Yeah, but the Kings follow the Thunder in 6.
I also have the Thunder. I feel like they're just too dominant of a team.
I don't think they're dominant. That's a bad word.
But I feel like
too dominant of a team. to beat
better players
Kings.
than the Kings, which isn't saying much, but at the same time.
Yeah.
Thunder in 5.
Okay. The Dallas Mavs and the LA Clippers. What a series. I mean, and back in my day, we used to call this cinema. I mean, this is a generational series. Luka versus the Clippers and whatnot. Mavs in 6. Mavs in 6. This is the year. This is the best chance the Mavs have had to win a title since they won it in 2011. They have Kyrie Irving, which
Yeah, but you guys don't have Dirk.
this is something that Luka is better than Dirk. This is something that I like to see. Luka Doncic leads the NBA in first quarter scoring. Kyrie Irving leads the NBA in fourth quarter scoring. So with the way we play it, where we switch out, we have either Luka or Kyrie on the court.
Yeah, then you
for 48 minutes.
Luka with like 5 minutes left.
But here's the difference between past years. When we benched Luka, we couldn't score. Yeah. We benched Luka, Kyrie can give us 7 points in 5 minutes and score. So I think Dallas does move on against the Clippers in 6.
I'll be taking the Clippers in 4. No, I'm kidding. Mavs in 7.
Mavs in 7, okay. And moving on to the Timberwolves and the Suns. I like the Timberwolves going the distance to 7 and winning. Phoenix, of course, they have the proven stars, if you will. But I think the freshness, I guess, of Minnesota comes into play, and they win in 7.
I will be taking the Suns in 7.
Expected. I think the Suns are probably the favorite in the series. So, yeah, Suns in 7 for him. And then finally, the Lakers and the Nuggets. Thanks, Wayne. Great job.
You're welcome,
Really,
sir.
Really great job. We were going good for about 40 minutes. Lakers and the Nuggets. I'll take the Nuggets in 4. First sweep here. I think. No. Nuggets in 6. I think the Lakers can pose problems early on, and I think the Lakers move on. And the Nuggets move on. I have Thunder and Mavericks.
I'll take the Nuggets in 6.
Okay, I don't care.
Actually, 5.
I have the Thunder and the Mavericks. Luka Doncic, playoff Luka is different. I think the Dallas Mavs win in 6. I don't know if it's actually that competitive a series. Mavs to the Western Conference Finals.
I will be taking OKC in 7.
Over Dallas?
Yes.
Okay. And then finally down there, it is the Nuggets and it's the Timberwolves. I this is shocking to say. I like Denver in 4. I think it's a sweep. It's a close sweep, but it's Denver in 4 going to the Western Conference Finals.
I have the Nuggets and Suns. I'll be taking the Nuggets in 5.
Into the conference finals, Dallas Mavericks, Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are beatable. Like, they're not unstoppable. I do think the Dallas Mavericks win the series. I do think the Dallas Mavericks go to the NBA Finals. Okay? Mavs to the NBA Finals as the 5 seed. Because everybody and their mother is going to have the Nuggets and the Celtics, right? Like, if I had to place money, I'd say Nuggets, Celtics win. But I'm not going to be boring. Go.
All right. So, for me, the Western Conference Final is going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. I'll be taking OKC in 7.
Whoa! OKC to the NBA Finals. I will bet you a lot of money that does not happen. Clip it. All right, NBA Finals. I have the Mavs and the Celtics. I think that the reason that the Celtics win the series in 6 is just because of the options they can stick on Luka, whether that is Drew Holiday or whether that is Derek White, 2 premier defenders in the league. I think they hold Dallas.
Jaylen Brown wins final MVP on the losing team.
The Boston Celtics win the NBA Finals. They finally get over the hump.
Well, if the Mavs make it that far, you are going to be crying when they lose.
Not really. I don't have that attachment.
For me, it's the Celtics and the Oklahoma City Thunder in the finals. Give me the Celtics in 7.
I was going to say, if you took the 7, oh my God.
Give me OKC in 4.
So, we both have Celtics.
I don't even know how this mic has been on. This mic has been on for a week and it still hasn't died.
We both have the Celtics.
Give me the Celtics in 7. We'll
update that as the time goes.
The Thunder win the 2025 NBA championship, by the way, guys.
Let's continue with our pressure narrative.
Clip it, please.
Let's continue to our pressure narrative. Top 5 players under pressure, pushing down.
Shut up and go with your 5th player already.
Under pressure. Number 5 in our top 5. players with the most pressure to perform in the
Literally
2024 NBA playoffs. It's El Matador, the kid from Madrid, Spain, by way of Slovenia. Number 77, Luka Doncic, under the most pressure, fifth most pressure, actually. He's not that high just because we know the God-given talent of Luka Doncic. Led the league in scoring, was up there in assists as well. He can get the offense involved. I think, is the most valuable player if you take the award at base value, most valuable to their team. He runs the entire offense. He's the whole engine to the team. But the thing is, he has not underperformed in the postseason, but his team has. You're screwing up my lighting. It's shade now. Luka Doncic at number 4. 5.
For my number 5 on pressure is James Harden. He's got components around him to make a push this year. You shut up.
He's got components.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Moving up to number 4, I have Paul George, also a member of the Los Angeles Clippers. He has been in a spot for a long time to where ever since, of course, in Indiana, when he played against Miami 10 years ago, he was known as a good playoff performer. But since then, his Clippers run has been disastrous in the postseason. Can you freaking stop? My God. Paul George at number 4.
For my number 4, I have Devin Booker.
Devin Booker, okay. Number 3, stop. Just stop. Not even joking. Number 3, Damian Lillard at my number 3 spot. We go from all this time in Portland to saying, you know what? He doesn't have a comparable team around him. He's playing alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo now on the Milwaukee Bucks, who just won a title 3 years ago. There's all the pressure in the world for Damian Lillard 3 years ago. For Damian Lillard to win the championship and to be a big component on it, Dame at 3.
My number 3, I have Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay. I guess. Top 2 should be all of you's top 2. Number 2 is Joel Embiid. Generational playoff choker for
I
a
agree
long
with you
time.
there, sir.
For a long time. The only difference why he's not number 1 is Jason Tatum is just because Tatum has had more opportunities.
Wow, I think he's only
and
19.
a better team around him. So do you want to do our NFL draft, guys, or should we do that all for the next episode?
Just do it, because next week is just going to be the entire draft,
Full
and that's
mock
2
draft.
of us, and that's probably going to take about 2 hours. No lie. Like, because
Full 7 rounds?
You're going to analyze. No.
Full 7 rounds plus UFAs.
UDFAs. That would probably take about 4 or 5 hours. Not even kidding. If there was if there's no analytics for any players, it'd probably take about 3 hours.
We can get through the first round in 25 seconds. You just say Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy, and it's just quick. Anyway, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but you're always going to do an analysis, which makes sense.
Which we'll do here. NFL Draft Your Guys, which is basically guys you're higher on than general public. You all have them in different types of sports. Your guys that you kind of have attention towards and you like more. I'll start out at the top 5 prospect in the class. I'm so high on Drake May. He's one of my guys, which isn't stupid because he's a lot of people's guys, yes, but I've seen a lot of...
Is it because he's white?
I've seen a lot of Jaden Daniels over Drake May hype, which crazy.
Drake May does everything like Jaden Daniels, but better, and is 6'4".
Drake May is ready to play quarterback today over anybody in this class.
Even over Caleb Williams?
Yes. Drake May is so polished.
Well, are you sure Drake May doesn't want to go get his nail appointment with Caleb Williams tomorrow?
You know, can we stop talking about that? It's such a stupid thing. I want to talk about football games and winning games, okay? And if you care about what people do with their nails...
I mean, Ray Lewis literally killed people, but, he's a good NFL player, so...
That's all I care about.
He's a killer on and off the field.
That's like... They better not be brought up once during draft night. Well, it paints his nails. He gets freaking slid rock.
All the old heads are going to be like...
I don't even... Like... Who cares?
All right, continuing.
I care about
one of my guys, Lad McConkey. Great speed, great athleticism. Granted, he was at Georgia. Yeah. Nobody cares. Real speedster. He's a lunch pail type of guy. Someone I'd date my daughter.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
My next
Same reason for Cooper DeJean, who is also my second guy.
No, he does. No, he's not. He's actually is. Oh my God, you got some black guys there. That sounds bad.
I have 3 white guys. I just realized that. God, I'm so racist.
Next one is my number one guy. Like, if you had a big board on guys I'm higher than anybody else, Rome Odunze. I mean, Rome
We need to hurry this up. My phone's about to die.
Rome was not built in a day, but he can be good day one. Rome Odunze is my number one guy. He's so polished. If you want contested catchability, take Marvin Harrison. If you want all the athleticism, take Malik Neighbors. If you want speed, take Xavier Worthy. If you want all of that combined, take Rome Odunze. Absolutely love the guy. I think listen, he's my wideout one. He's my wide receiver one. I'm coming out of my shell. I've always had him as number 2 because the consensus is Marvin Harrison. I don't want to get too high on Rome Odunze, but I am. I'm high on him. Okay, throw to Rome. Rome will conquer a team. I'm going to make all the pun jokes about Rome the city and Rome Odunze every time he plays in the NFL. I cannot wait for it. I will be there. He's my wide receiver one. He's my overall number 2 player in the draft.
Yeah, my number 2, Dijon. My number 3 is going to be Keon Coleman. Fast, athletic, very gifted.
Yeah.
6 foot.
6'4" and return punts for Florida State is unheard
that
of.
is insane. Crazy athleticism for his size.
Yes, he'll be a great second-round pick.
No, he's going first. He is going to the Chiefs. Mark my words. Mark my words.
$5
To the Chiefs. To the Chiefs.
$5. He's not a first-round pick.
First-round pick.
You just say to the Chiefs, so he's not to the Chiefs. He's not going to be a first-round pick.
Yes, he will.
$5 actually.
First-round pick.
He's not a first-round pick.
Yeah,
Okay.
First-round pick. Could you stop doing the Donald Trump handshake?
I just made $5.
Mom, I'm rich.
My next player, CB1, not Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo. So instinctual. Ball skills are out of this world. He can pick it off and take it to the distance.
My ball skills are out of this world.
He reminds me of Trayvon Diggs, who's a little bit better at coverage. Which, by the way, I mean, it's Toledo, which is in the MAC. It's not the best.
Didn't they make it to... Yeah, they made it to the MAC championship against Miami of Ohio, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And I actually watched that game, and Miami of Ohio smoked Toledo.
Quinion Mitchell, CB1. I could see him go as high as pick 10. One of my guys.
For me, Peyton Wilson, linebacker at NC State. Injury history definitely sucks. Definitely one of the downfalls, whatever you want to call it, for him.
Upsides.
But
I love when my players are injured.
you should take like O.J. Simpson or something then for your team.
Go on.
But very good linebacker. He has not quite Luke Kuechly type film study, which I'm not gonna say that. That's why I'm not saying it. Very good in the film room.
How do you know?
Dude, I was literally there.
Very good in the film room.
Are you dumb?
That's just stupid.
No, but great coverage linebacker.
What color is he?
White.
Yeah, he's great in the film room. Comes to class on time.
Yeah, guy I'd let date my daughter.
No off the field issues. Anyway, my next guy.
He's not worried about women.
My next guy is Michael Penix Jr. Listen, Michael Penix Jr. is like
until he tears both of his ACLs.
Michael Penix Jr. is like a drug. Okay, you know you should not take it. You know you should not take it.
You know you should not bite into the bad influence, but you're going to.
But it's damn tempting. The way this man just slings the rock. I've said it a million times on this. Okay, we can get all these analytics, mechanical, blah blah blah. Sometimes can a man sling the rock, and if he can, pick him. Okay.
But does he show up on time? Is he a white lunch pail type of guy?
Injury history.
Does he show up to class?
He's the most injury-prone player in college football history. He's got 4 torn ACLs.
So is Peyton Wilson.
Okay. This guy, he's 25 years old.
Actually, there's probably others that I don't know about.
There's so many red flags on this guy, but he can spin it. That's all I care about Penix.
Sorry, my turrets came out. My 5th player that is a draft guy for me is Kalen King, cornerback out of Penn State.
Penn State University.
He was a great...
CBU, some may say.
Well...
Not me, though.
No. We're linebacker, edge rusher U.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Edge rusher U, who's Micah Parsons? Who else?
Chop Robinson.
Compared to like Georgia or Alabama.
No, I don't know. I have to actually like go in depth about that. Kalen King. About 6'1" something. really good jumping routes. Feel like it'll end up being almost like Trayvon Diggs and jumping routes, and when it's a double move.
Mm-hmm.
But I have some very good hype around him.
My next guy's going to be a pretty big sleeper. He's not like a sleeper in terms of name, but he's a sleeper. He'll probably be a 5th, 6th round pick. It's Jermaine Burton out of Alabama. Jermaine Burton, we're number 3 for Alabama. Big jump ball guy, big play receiver. The thing is, he's not.
Yeah, but he's no Isaiah. Or who was the Bond? Who caught
Isaiah
that? Who got that touchdown against Auburn? In the
Isaiah
Didn't he transfer to Texas?
I think so. He doesn't jump off the page to you, but I think he'll be a solid enough slot receiver that I think he could be a sneaky 800 yards a year guy.
For my 6th guy, Braylon Allen.
Out of Wisconsin.
Super young running back.
Peaked as a freshman.
Built like a absolute unit. Very fast for his size.
You think he's a 1st round pick?
No. Are
Second
you
round pick?
kidding me?
2nd round pick?
He's 3rd at the earliest.
Okay. I want to make another bet with you. That
Running backs do not get picked that early. Blake Corum isn't going to get picked until like the 5th round.
Okay.
Braylon Allen goes before Corum. Though.
Does a running back go before pick 50?
No.
Really? 50. That's deep into the 2nd round.
It's like 1st round and about halfway through. A little over halfway. Like round 1 pick.
I could see it.
I could, but who's it going to be?
Bucky Irving. Trey Benson out of Jonathan Brooks out of Texas.
Yeah. I mean, well, he's coming off an ACL tear, isn't he?
I don't know.
He got injured. I know that.
So you have Braylon Allen. That's a good pick. Hard-nosed guy. I got 2 more guys. One guy.
Running back after him.
Bucky Irving.
No.
One guy.
Fuck you, man. What are you talking about?
Brett Coleman on YouTube does some draft studies, and he's a good guy. Christian Boyd out of Northern Iowa. It's gonna be like a 6th round pick. He's so raw. That's the thing. Why
did you have to word it like that? He's so raw.
He has it all there, but it's not all there. Okay? And then in the 6th round, that's kind of what you want. You want guys that have a 90% chance of being a bust, but a 10% chance of being a Pro Bowler every year. And this is what this guy is. Is he probably going to be a bust?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay? But is there a 10% chance that he could be a Pro Bowler?
Nobody knew who Brock Purdy was. He was probably going to be bust, but look at Brock Purdy now.
He's not the poster boy for, like... He's not like, oh my God, Brock Purdy, steal. Nobody's like, wow, Brock Purdy.
Oh my God!
Brock Purdy.
Why do you have to take everything so damn literally?
Brock Purdy won us that game. Nobody's ever said that in their life.
Nobody's gonna say he won the game.
I know.
God.
That's my.
All right, my 7th and final is Dylan Johnson, running back out of
good pick.
UOW.
Good pick. Maybe I'm just in love with Washington, but man, is that guy good? Ran for 300 yards against USC.
Yeah, their entire offense was throwing the ball. 3/4 of the time.
When
it didn't work out, they had Dylan Johnson as a receiving threat and also a very dominant rusher. If their passing game wasn't working out, they ran it and worked for them as well. All because of him, and definitely that O-line. Their O-line was really good this year.
My final pick.
But Dylan Johnson, I feel like, will be him and Braylon Allen, I feel like, fall to like the 4th, 5th round. Actually, Dylan Johnson's probably not going to be picked up until like the 6th or 7th round.
Cowboys could pick them.
How nobody knew who Dylan Johnson was like last year, but this year, like just with Wisconsin, he just blew up.
I could see him not getting drafted, but he's a guy that.
Whoever picks him up in UDFA is gonna get it.
Finally, Byron Murphy out of Texas. I'd pick him as high as pick 10. Big strong defensive tackle that I really do like. So, coming up in a week or 6 days, depending on it's probably gonna be a week. It's probably gonna be Wednesday. I have plans on Tuesday, I think. We'll see. We'll get into it.
If it's raining or not.
But coming up, we will be a couple days away from the NFL draft, fixing up everything, hoping to answer some of your questions if anybody's here. Full 32-pick mock draft. And then the rest of May is basically mock draft reaction time. The lights have come on. My God, I'm going to go to heaven. See you guys.